Yes. School edition login. Okay. All right, so you have a Chrome open and you go to myaccess.com. It is the school edition, not the home edition, so make sure you're in the right one.
Okay.
It says school edition on it.
What is my stuff?
You want school?
Your
It says at school.
like your first initial, middle initial, last name.
Password 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
You want school edition?
Yes, you want school edition. We're learning how to use My Access writing program. The lead teacher instructing them on how to use this program and implement it for STAR training. You are all getting a handout on make sure. So mine's like J.M. Anderson, and then my password is password 123.
Oh, it's password 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Put in 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you're all getting quick reference guides and information about.
I'm on Vantage Learning. Is that wrong?
That's right. It's Vantage Learning. That's the company. Good job.
No,
Adding students, correcting errors, renewing and moving students, stuff like that. The good thing is you don't have to actually add students because that's already taken care of for you. We got a thing from Miss Clark, and then Michelle went through and copied and pasted, and it says it uploaded, so hopefully it works.
You're talking about our roles?
Yes, you still need those. We had you bring your roles because that way you can create groups. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go over My Access for a second, and then we're going to go over how to do each thing independently. And that'll probably take about 30 minutes to an hour, and then y'all can use the rest of the time to play and set up and that kind of thing. I can help y'all with whatever. Okay. Like I said before, I used this at Whole Days Data a couple years ago, and it was really, really good with STAR training specifically. But it's also nice because they have the honors component, and you can label your groups as honors or as regular. You can pull from their prompts, and every year they're adding more and more prompts. I think there's like 1,500 different prompts to choose from for high school level. But this is all grade level, so it goes babies all the way up.
Their prompts to have them graded?
You can also create your own prompts. And so in the own prompts, you can create your own. You can set up what kind of scale you want it to be graded on. They still grade for the mechanics, all those different things. You can share it. You can make your prompt available to everyone that uses it, or you can just make it only for your kids. Does that make sense? So like if you were to create a prompt, say Janie created a prompt over a novel for her juniors, but my juniors are also reading that novel, she can make it where my juniors can use her prompt. And so she was the original creator of it. I can go in and assign that to my kids. And so that's what I'm going to show you in just a minute. Everybody's logged in. Okay, and if you go, we're looking at the home screen. It should say, well, mine says welcome back, Justin Anderson.
It says welcome.
Just welcome, okay.
Mine doesn't. Did you log in?
Mine did it.
No, I didn't. I wanted to do that.
So we found it, but we haven't logged in. That's okay. And so, yeah. Okay, so whenever you log in, this is just the home screen. If you look, it says the snapshot report for my writing progress for your kids. Holistic grading, focus development, organization, language use, and mechanics. Those are the 6 different areas that they're going to look at and track and grade on. And as your kids start turning in, you notice the submissions right now is 0, obviously. Okay, this is a weekly range. Your holistic score will be overall, so for the entire school year. So ours actually is going to start from the first day of your first assignment. So say you decided to assign this to your kids tomorrow. Then your first holistic day would be tomorrow's date. And that's going to take us through the school year. The rest of the stuff and the focus and the things like that would just be weekly volumes. So it's going to grade it on a weekly thing. But your holistic, they want you to see because ideally you want that holistic thing to...
It's not logging in. What's your name? It's BJ Luna.
BJ Luna. She's probably just put 1, 2, 3, 2.
No, what?
Yeah, exactly.
You can change your password 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right now it's a default
I
password.
just set it to password 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Okay, so we're good. If everybody will look at groups and assignments. Oh, that's great. Unable to connect to the internet. Oh.
Okay.
I have no
It's
internet.
always around this time.
Okay.
It's always around this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna reset my whole computer, gotta shut down and reopen. Eat lunch.
You have to do that? Yeah. I still
I
have.
lose the
How
sound.
weird.
Do you have
It
internet?
shuts the sound down like a jacket.
Okay, well, I don't.
Are you still?
Yeah, it's still recording, but that makes no sense. Okay.
Do we click group and assignment?
Are they there? All right.
As long as your camera. I was gonna say we were taping the whole thing.
I know. So
When you get group and assignment.
click on group and assignments. This is so convenient,
Do you want to use mine?
if you don't mind, just because I already have my group set up. And can I log you out? Okay, so I can. Well, I already created them.
I'm like, I created a group. Or create a new group.
Okay. Problems now. Okay. Oh wait, it's fixed. Okay. Problem fixed. Network adapter. Okay, let's see if it works. So if you go to groups and assignments, okay, good. Thank you there. All right. What I did, and this is totally up to you, but you create groups. And so in the top right hand corner, it says create a group. So everybody click on create a group. And it's going to bring you to a new page. Group name is up to you. What I did for my groups is I created an English 2 pre-AP group, a juniors group, a star sophomore, like star 10th grade EOC 2 group, and a star 9th grade group. Okay. The reason I did the star groups too, and you can go as far as to create groups for class periods if you want. And I may eventually break my.
That's what I'm doing.
Can you go back and change it after?
Yes.
But she has kids who have not passed English
That are in my juniors.
labeled.
So I'm going to assign them. For instance, I assign all juniors an assignment. Instead of those juniors that the juniors that haven't passed the STAR test, instead of assigning them the normal junior assignment on the sly without all the other class members knowing, I'm assigning them STAR prompts. Because then they are typing and working on STAR stuff.
Okay, I like that. That's cool.
And they're still submitting and they're still getting a grade without everyone in the whole class knowing.
But I
Yes.
could put them in teams within their class. too.
Yes, you can do whatever you want. And you can create as many groups as you want. So right now, when everybody just create a group, it can be whatever you want. I kept mine separated for the time being, just as pre-AP and juniors, because we always do the same thing in those two class periods. If I had two groups, let's say a junior group, and one was always behind and one worked ahead, then I would create them in two different groups. But I right now try and stay on the same page. My two pre-AP classes and my two junior classes do the same thing every day. Like I don't go ahead and try and catch up.
You're talking to me.
The easier thing to do is to do one group because then you just assign it to everybody in that one group. The more groups you create,
One group for juniors.
I would do one group for juniors and one group for seniors for you.
So where it says group name.
So name it whatever you want. You could type juniors. Like I typed juniors. Can you what?
Can I rename it later?
Yep.
Edit the group
Uh-huh.
itself.
You can.
So I want to put juniors, right?
Mm-hmm. So everybody just create one. The group key, that stays. Don't change that. That is my access's default for the group. If you want a description, you can put it. I didn't put one for mine. This is where you could label it and differentiate class periods. But if I were you, I would name them. If you're separating by class periods, I would do the group name as your class period. Because that's going to be the main thing that shows up on your list when you're trying to assign them assignments.
The kids can't see.
Right.
So, okay.
But I just put in group names juniors.
Yep. Yep. You're good. Building and room number and all of that is up to you. You do need to make sure that your grade level represents the grade level that you're dealing with. So, because default is 3rd grade. And so,
So I put 214 for room. No, what do I put for period?
you're going to leave it blank.
Okay.
Grade level, you would do 11th. Subject, I just left mine blank. Class type, Luna, yours would be regular. This is where, like, my pre-AP kid, I labeled them honors on this. So, and when it comes,
Regulars.
you just leave it regular.
No, I can.
On what? It's a drop down. It stays regular. What is it?
I can make them sped and it's okay.
Yes.
If they legitimate. Okay.
Yes. Nobody will have access to this stuff unless you give it to them.
Class type regular. I'm sorry. What was the subject line for?
So blank. And when you're done, hit save. It's going to take you to a new screen. And it's going to say group info, Liberty High School, group type, class, when it was created, when it was modified, the teacher name, that's default. You don't need to change anything unless you made a mistake or something on the page before, and then you would just hit save.
Again?
Now that created your group.
Save and exit or just save?
Let me see. Just do save.
Oh, I see.
Where do you see your students?
Oh, there's a tab that says students.
Okay, now if you go back to group and assignments, tab again, then on your student groups, it says my student groups. It should list that group you just created. Does everybody see that?
But
Okay.
I don't see anybody's name on it.
No, we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
And we're going to do that last because that's going to take us the longest. And so for sake of all of this and my film and everything, we're going to come back to add the students at the very end. But we can add prompts and we can look at all those different things still without without having students in your groups. So we went back to it and it says my student groups and click on mine's test, but click on your group that you just created. On the left, there's a little bubble that you can click on.
On the left.
Sarah, see how it says the pencil, it shows the pencil edit? That's where you edit your group later if you want. So on the right, after you select it, if you look on the right, it does edit and it shows a pencil, it shows students, it shows assignments, login info, status change, and delete. Okay, so this is where you can control your groups. You can edit it. You can decide that, hey, I need different groups, so I'm going to name this one 3rd period, and I'm going to go and create a new one for 5th period. You can change the name of it. You can add and remove students. What we're going to do right now is click on assignments. This takes us to a screen. It says current assignments for, and whatever your group name is. Right now it says there are no assignments. Does everybody see that? Okay. In the top right hand corner, it says add prompt. Everybody see it? Click the box. Now, this is a 6-step process, and it's really not as bad as it sounds. Okay, it really is very easy, and it literally takes about 2 minutes. The longest part of this process is you selecting what prompt you want to do. Okay, so
all of this is just for writing purposes.
Okay, so include all these grades. You can select as many as you want. You do high school, 9 through 12, in the left upper hand box, it says include these grades. Everybody select high school, grades 9 through 12. On your genres, let's look for just today's sake, informative expository. You can choose all of them, but it literally will give you thousands of prompts, okay? Prompt types. Now, this will show my access and telemetric prompts, so that's the grading scale. The pilot prompts are new prompts that they've just added, and they don't have a whole bunch of information and data and stuff on them, but they're piloting new prompts every year. Okay, your prompts, so it's if you created your own, we're going to go ahead and leave the box checked. It doesn't matter if you uncheck it. We don't have any prompts in there right now anyway. No one does. Okay, and then shared my prompts. So that's what I was talking about, where me and Janie can both be teaching the Scarlet Letter. We both can use the same writing prompt. One of us comes up with it. We really like it. You're telling the other one about it. They love it. So we share it with each other. And now all of our classes that are juniors can write on that one prompt. Okay. But like I said, for sake of today, let's do high school 9 through 12, and let's do informative expository. Include these textbook themes. I like to go with themes of like maybe what I'm teaching. When I was playing around earlier, I just did challenges. And so let's look at challenges. Like I said, there are a ton, and you can go with themes and different things that you're trying to teach, or maybe, what are we focusing on in junior English? Everybody knows junior English is so boring. This might make it a little more interesting. So the different time periods that take place in American literature. And then selecting these subjects, you can do certain subjects. I always leave that one as select all because it just gives you more choices. Yeah, I don't want to limit it to the point of where we want it to be high school, and we want it to be informative, and we want it about challenges, and we want it about art.
Wait. Go back to what you just said. Okay, we want something on the crucible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why would you select astronomy and business dealing with the crucible? I'm lost.
You don't.
That's
You just
how
leave it.
doing select.
Yeah.
You can even go keyword
And you could even type it in.
and say the crucible.
Yeah.
Mineral triangles.
Oh, okay,
And I'll help you. We'll play with it in a minute.
okay.
Okay, so right now we have high school 9 through 12. We have informative expository. We have challenges, and then we have select all. Everybody got it? Okay, hit search.
It's only one, right? That's what I read.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't like the thing here? Yeah.
So that would be one about challenges. Now let's go back up to textbook themes, and let's go to select all.
Hold on, where's it at?
Now we have 224. So go to select all. So now it's just high school 9 through 12, informative expository. Instead of choosing challenges, select all. You good, Sarah?
Oh, what am I doing?
Now you're
next?
225.
Yeah, instead of doing challenges, just do select all.
Okay, yeah, I can't read it because the whole window's like half off of my screen.
Oh my gosh.
There, okay, I can see all of them. So we're good.
Okay. And then select all subjects. So now you're viewing 1 through 20 of 224 results. Is that what everybody sees?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's see. Let's go down.
I like this one. Advice to a presidential candidate. That's cool.
Yeah, I've done that one
Which
before.
one?
A letter to your grandchildren. And
Oh,
the
that's
kids
cool.
really like that one. Let's do that
How did
one.
you make it come up?
Okay, so a letter to your grandchildren, the world today. Everybody select prompt.
I like that one.
So you notice we're still in step 2.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You're scrolling down.
You just told us your finger.
Yeah, it's a touch screen.
Until they quit working and
Right,
they
this one,
can
and
go
then
to food place.
and then
It doesn't
right
work.
now.
Okay, so now everybody should say assignment wizard, step 2 of 6, a letter to your grandchildren, the world today, find resources. Everybody see it?
Mhm.
Okay. Now at any point in this process, you can do save and quit. We're not going to do that right now, but say something came up, you were in a rush, something happened, you can save it exactly where you are and you can come back to it. If you look on the right, it says view core and state standards and view textbook alignment. You can select those things for lesson plan purposes. It will help you, to cite all the different things.
Yeah.
I think so.
For the
You look up Texas.
So it's not just like common core.
oh wait, no, it's Texas. Yeah.
And then textbook alignment.
Cool. It even gives you the textbook, and you could even
Yeah,
go
it
look
gives
up if you don't
you-
have it, like the story. That's
Core
what
and
it
state
is
standards.
for the unit or whatever.
And then textbook alignment.
How did I get?
Yeah, so it tells you what unit, what number, for what book. And it gives you McDougall and Prentice Hall. So that can kind of parallel. Say you wanted to teach something one day and then you wanted to do this writing assignment the next. Then we go along the common theme, the different things, and it gives you the information for your lesson plan purposes. Okay. Let's go to step 3, setup availability. This is the coolest part of everything to me. Well, other than that, it grades it for you.
Yeah.
That's actually the coolest part. But we're going to say that this is another good thing. Assignment availability. Now, one of the questions that always comes with this is, well, they're going to cheat. Their parents are going to do it for you or whatever. Okay. You can actually put time restraints and windows of when it is available. So I always do mine within the school day. So when it's over, it's over. If you decide to do it for homework, you could, but I wouldn't suggest that. I would make this a daily assignment within class. One, for the pure simple reason of a lot of kids
They're
are
gonna type
on
on
here
here.
and submit it.
That's how it can grade
Yes.
us on, 'cause it's typed
And then you
on
just
here.
print the score sheet. Yes.
Well,
And
y'all had said one time something about holding it up to take a picture of it. Isn't that what y'all said one?
No.
No.
no, we didn't. But that's good, Luna. Hey, you're somewhat catching on. But
Does it have
There you
to
go.
be this, or can it be the things in the library, the computers in the library?
it can be the computer's library, any computer. Okay. So availability, you could do active or inactive. You can make it inactive.
What does that mean?
It means like they can't currently see it, and then you can come back and make it active again. Okay, so if you click the little question mark next to inactive. Active assignments are available to the Student's Assignment Center. Completed assignment data is available in Student Teacher's Portfolio. Inactivating an assignment in progress will close any open sessions. The data does not appear in the student's portfolio. So let's say we did a practice one and everybody's was absolutely terribly horrible, and you don't want it to show up on the data that goes to the school board, proving that my access is the best thing ever. So we would make that inactive. So it will become inactive. I actually did that one time. Whenever I was at Dayzetta, the school board was just curious, and so I just did it on my own. It wasn't something that was forced. I said, "Hey, this program's awesome. Here's all the information and the data and stuff." And so it was like a big push, and now they've bought it every year since I've been there, and that was in 2010, 11.
So wouldn't they have to have the computer program to get this?
No, I
She did it for
No, I did it for them. They can't see our data. I printed it and gave it to them. And so anything that we don't want to show up, say it was just a trial thing, or say it wasn't something that was for star scores or something like that, you can just make it inactive, and it takes it out of all data and everything being shown and tracked in progress. Okay. Practice prompt, yes or no. Same thing. In the practice prompt assignment, scores are not added to the accumulated average for a student. So as reflected in their portfolio link or in their reports. So if it's a practice prompt, it's just something that we're giving to them for them to get better. They're practicing, they're going through the stuff. It doesn't go into their overall portfolio data. And so it says practice prompt assignments work well for students' first assignment of the school year when they're beginning to learn how to use My Access or when a new genre is being introduced. And so it's like, hey, we're going to start learning about this. They practice, they do a run through. It's scored, but it doesn't show up and reflect in their portfolio.
So you can almost do daily grades with practice prompts and test grades as.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can. Notice that practice prompt flag cannot be changed once the students start the assignment. So you can't say this is a practice prompt and then later come back and go, oh, I want to count that as a grade. Or I want that to show up in their data. Okay, so, yeah.
But I can turn it off.
Yes.
I can't turn it on.
Right.
So you can
You
change
turn
it. You
everything
can change it back
You can
on.
make it inactive or active. You just can't flag it as practice. So I never use practice prompt. I have used active, inactive. But I've never used practice because, like I said, what if they all did amazing and you gave it to them as a practice prompt because you thought that this genre was going to be a nightmare? They're analyzing poetry, and it was just terrible. And they all get like perfect scores, and then you can't use that in your data because it's a practice prompt.
Okay.
So the best thing to do is go active, inactive. Okay, submissions allowed. Now, this is a big one. If you click, default is unlimited. I always do two. I do a rough draft and a final draft. You can do however many you want.
Just keep doing it over, kind of like Steady Island.
Yes.
Sometimes they want to till it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I always do two because what I do is I have them submit, and I can go in and type and put information, and they submit it, and the computer also tells them exactly what they need to work on if there's any grammar errors or anything like that,
So
and then
if
they take
hit
all that.
submit, it's gonna show up on theirs.
And yours. I'm going to show you. And then, so I always say two. One, you're only allowing a certain window of time for them to do it. And two, you don't want them just going in and changing unless it's like a project or something, a work in progress. So like I said, obviously 2, assign to grade. This is where you would go in and pick your grade. Your higher ed is like your college type stuff. And I have used that for pre-AP and stuff like that. So you would pick your grade. Assign to track. I don't ever do that. Start date. You could say tomorrow. Let's say so November the 10th. Now, Sarah, if you decided you wanted to start something and every week you wanted them to come back to this one prompt till Christmas, and so it was perfect,
Mhm.
then you may want to do your end date like December 18th or December 18th Friday? Yeah, December the 18th of 2015. And like my kids, I only want them to be able to do it 1 week. So I would start on the 10th, and I would say that by this Friday is the what? 13th. Oh, that's right, Friday the 13th. So I'd go the 13th of 2015 would be their end date. I need to look and see. I want to make sure. I'm going to go back just to default just to see the difference. At some point, there is something where it won't show up on their stuff. But I think this is just completing the assignment. But I'll look at it and let y'all know. Hours of availability. That's what I was talking about. If you click that box, it will let you change. I did start time of 9. I did end time of 2 because, say for my pre-AP class, if I was creating something for them, I have them 3rd and 5th. So nobody will be working past 2 o'clock. My last class with them is at 1:30. You can go 8 to 4. You can go whatever. But then you can also go
They'd have to have
days of the week.
computer though.
I had a question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then go to the library during lunch.
That's it, and I really want to keep them in that one period because I'm timing it, and I want them to start practicing something in 10, 50 minutes. So I set it for the time the kid's absent. Can I just open it and reopen the window so they can come back and do it?
Yes, you can edit for them. Excuse me. If you go specific days, then I always click Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That way they can't work on it on the weekend. So let's say you leave a 2-week window. Sorry. For this assignment. This is something that you started and you made them do a rough draft. And I'm going to show you there's also graphic organizers and all the pre-planning and all that stuff in here as well. It takes about 40 minutes to go through a pre-planning thing. So yeah, when they start to do the assignment, a ton. And so when you go in and you say, okay, we're going to pre-plan this day and then we're going to write, and then next week we're going to come back to it and we're going to look at it and we're going to post the final. So you've allotted 4 days over 2 weeks worth of class in order to do this. But you don't want them having access over the weekend because you don't want them going in. You don't want them messing with stuff or getting somebody to help them write it or whatever. You want to see what they really can do. Then this is whenever your specific hours of availability are really important. Because unless you select, like you could do weekday, I guess you could just do every weekday. If you do daily, then it's every day from that time to that time, no matter where they are, they can log in. And so that opens up for weekend stuff. Okay.
Are you talking about just one paper?
Yeah.
And you're gonna spend 4 days of classroom on one?
No, I was just giving an example. I won't.
Okay.
I'll spend 2.
I'll probably spend like 2.
If I do the graphic organizer, I would do that for a day. And then I would have them write and submit a day. And then if they need another day because it was terrible and they have to resubmit, then that would give them another
So they
day.
get to submit and they get to look at on screen all
Yes.
the things they messed up.
And it's really cool, like, and I can go in and type. So this was really cool. I had a class, we did it all day. I mean, we did it every day. When they came in, they were assigned to the computer lab. It was STAR remediation kids, and we did it every day when they came to me. My class was the computer lab. And they'd be in the middle, they wanted to goof off. Right in the middle of their paper, I can write them a message saying, get back on track, in all caps. And it pops up on their screen in the middle of them typing. And they can message back. You can message them. You can tell them how to fix something. Like you literally can go in and highlight their paragraph or highlight their sentence and go, you need to reword this right in the middle of their paper. And so it's really cool.
How
Okay.
would they retype it?
They get a resubmission.
Okay, they resubmit.
Make their changes.
Yeah. Edit.
But will they make the changes on the one that they sent all these problems with? Like this
It gives them an
this is a
opportunity to
run-on.
recreate
Okay, this is a run-on. Can they go right there
and fix it.
redo the
Yes.
run-on right
Yes,
there?
it will identify
With
it for
that
them.
contract?
Yes, it does a different color, I think. I want to say it's in red or something like that. So step 4, set up scoring. This is where I always do the 4-point scale because it's more star, 1 to 4. If you do the 6, that'd be more into like AP, pre-AP type stuff. Scores to appear in the report, holistic score, domain and trait scores, focus and meaning, content development, organization, language use, voice, style, mechanics, and conventions. Okay, readability and student view, leave that on. So we're at 4-point scale, we leave all of that, and we go step 5, set up feedback. Enable my tutor, enable my editor, all that's default. Developing rule sets, you can if you want.
Does that
If-
mean?
Like click on the question mark and it shows you the preferences. And so you can go developing, or you can go into like missing articles, misused words, spelling errors. You see it's 4 pages
Yeah.
worth of stuff. So right now the rule set is developing. You can go to proficient, you can go to advanced proficient.
Oh, so it's not gonna come up with the 97, 67? It does or it doesn't? It comes up with a 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Mhm.
It doesn't come up with the grade.
No, you just.
You convert it. You decide what each numerical score is worth. Feedback readability. Always do A+.
Where? Sorry.
Okay.
I was looking at it.
Feedback readability.
Or feedback.
Feedback readability. Or we could go auto readability and just see what they're on.
I know.
Enable my editor suggestion auto insert. Always click that.
For readability, for feedback level, do you do A+? Is that what?
I did auto readability because I just want to see what it does.
Okay. But A+ would be 8th grade and higher. Okay. No, I'll do proficient.
So we wanna change that.
I feel like proficient would be because the subject verb.
I think I might do auto on both of those
And
because it ranks them and sees what they are on, I think.
Mhm.
And that's why I wanted to.
I'm doing auto on both. I did auto on that one and auto on feedback level.
What's auto, what is on now?
Maybe.
Now you got to change it. Rule preferences and then feedback level. Change them to auto
What is auto? Like, what is. Because that one's not on here.
based on how they write. Yeah, it's on there.
On the 4, on the 3, it just says developing proficient and advanced.
No, the first one's auto readability.
No, I'm
Oh
saying
wait,
on the
no. I'm sorry. When they grade them, it will automatically tell us what rule set they're on.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
They're at the developing
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
Okay.
But did you say on 2 things or just 1?
2. Feedback level.
Wait a minute. I got that. Where's
The rules preferences. It was on developing.
Developing rule set,
I
that?
told her to, but it's okay.
Do what?
Holistic.
You get it?
Okay, maybe advanced. I might do that.
So I leave all the other scoring on.
Yes.
Readability is student.
Mhm.
And then feedback wizard, enable my tutor, yeah.
Enable my tutor suggestion auto insert.
Multiple things.
Okay.
Okay, and then add tools, step 6. Okay, now this is where you get to put in your pre-writing. Right now they're all checked. You can uncheck all and then select. The pre-writing wizard, it actually takes them step by step. It's a 40-minute limit for using the wizard. Be sure students save their work in the wizard before the 40-minute mark. Okay. Venn diagrams, checklists, notepads, cluster webs, KWL charts, spell checker, the print essay option. Sarah, there's your timer. If you wanted to put in a time, you could give them an allotted time to write. Reference guides, they have the writer's choice, models, rubrics, word banks, thesaurus and dictionary, and instructional resources. Okay, this is what I was talking about. That would be all of our STAR kids that can receive all these accommodations on their exam. If you do this every time they write, they can use it on the STAR test. All these things. So this might be something we could just print and use on the STAR test. Okay, and then you would go save and assign. That's the last step. And like I said, I know that took forever to show y'all, but it really doesn't take that long when you're going through to create it. Okay, so now it says current assignments for whatever your group name is. I just put test as my group. It says that the status is active, and it tells you the assignment names. It tells you how many revisions are allowed, when they started, when they ended, when you created it. You have options to either delete it or print it. And so you can actually print it and give it to them on a sheet of paper, like print the prompt and give it to them. You don't need to, but you can.
Hold on. We're gonna go through all 6 steps just to give the prompt.
Yes, that's what the assignment.
But it's cool because it grades it for you and it's instant feedback. So this is basically all that you'll have to do in order to set it up.
It's
It grades it for you.
it's like making copies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which takes at least 2
And
minutes.
it really is easy. The more you do it, Luna, the
But you
easier it
do
is.
Every different prompt.
Mhm.
You just
And that's why I said you probably only want 2 groups instead of doing that for every class period, because you're going to assign them the same thing. You're going to assign all juniors the same thing, and you're going to assign seniors the same thing.
really dumb question.
Okay.
So we get it done here. I'm still lost. How does it go to, how do they know what?
When we add our students to our groups,
Mhm.
then whoever's in that group receives that assignment on their computer when they log in.
They'll go to my
So they go to My Access and they log in, and that assignment shows up for them on their screen. Yes. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
And then if you click on it, it just takes you back to, you can edit it. I've done it before. I go, okay, well, I thought I was going to be able to do that.
Free stuff we do.
Yes, ma'am. And I thought, I was like, okay, well, I was going to do that, and I was going to give them 2, but then that didn't work out right. I need to give them 3. So then you just click on it and you go in, and that's how you edit. There's not an edit button. There's a delete or there's a print. If you click on the title after you've already saved it, then it takes you back to how you can edit it and change it. Yes, it does.
Where's the paper?
When I clicked on the prompt details, you scroll
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Okay, so if we go to student portfolios, it says group next to groups and assignments. Okay, and so group portfolios, individual portfolios. This is where it talks about all the scoring domains. You can filter, you can change anything that's scored, awaiting scores. So this is where you start looking up your data and the information in the data for your group. Okay, there's essay actions, so you can view, print, or save. You can email it, you can comment, you can delete, you can do a summary report. There's a parent letter, and there's my editor report.
Hold on.
Okay.
Where the hell is the
Right there.
So let's select a group. Step 1, search group portfolios. So select a group. Let's select the group we just talked about. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this, but let's try. Sent 7 dates. I don't know, since they haven't actually done anything, if it'll let us see anything. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to have students. Okay, I'm going to continue to teach them how to use this program, students, entry, all that different thing, and that is all for my leading video. It is November the 9th at 1:30.